Hey there, welcome to the Morning Brief. I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which you can hear News Talk 790 KFYO and online at KFYO.com. Weekday mornings 8:30 to 11. How about that debate last night with the Republican presidential candidates? Did you watch it on Fox Business? Pretty good debate, I thought, hosted by Fox Business. A lot of punches that were thrown. It was the fiery debate that I think a lot of us expected to see between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio and Donald Trump and some of the other cast as well. Chris Christie got in there. Even Jeb, he showed up. Jeb was on stage, which was pretty good for Jeb Bush. And then Ben Carson. He was Ben Carson. Nice guy. Ben Carson's a very nice guy, but he belongs on the speaker circuit. He doesn't belong in the Oval Office, at least in my opinion. I can't get fired up for Ben Carson. Sorry, folks. I know there are a lot of you out there who really like him, but I just can't go there. And then, John Kasich was also up on stage, but really, who cares about that? The night was all about the fights. That's really what this was about. And if you thought this past debate, if you thought Thursday's debate was really fiery, just wait. In 2 weeks, Fox News hosts another debate that happens just 3 days before the Iowa caucus. The gloves will be absolutely off in that debate, especially between, I believe, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. But we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Back to last night's debate among the Republican presidential candidates. Let's be honest. It's time for Ben Carson to go. It's time, the entire undercard debate. I'm tired of it. Let's get rid of it. Time for Santorum to go. Time for Carly Fiorina. I really want to like Carly Fiorina, but it's probably time for her to go. Same thing for Rand Paul. It's not going to happen, man. Sorry, you skipped out on a debate. Shows that I don't think you're really serious about this whole presidential contest now. You just want to make it all about yourself. This is now a race between Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Donald Trump, in my opinion. Maybe throw in Chris Christie if he does well in New Hampshire. On Thursday night, Ted Cruz absolutely ripped apart Donald Trump. It was the most effective takedown of Donald Trump that I have seen this entire election season. When Donald Trump tried to go after the birther issue with Ted Cruz was excellent. He was on point, on fire, went after Donald Trump. I was very impressed with it. Overall, I think that Marco Rubio had the best night. I was impressed with Rubio because he came out very aggressive. He took a shot at Hillary Clinton right off the bat. He was assertive. He was aggressive, something that we not really have seen before in Marco Rubio and the other debates, where he has really tried to stand above, rise above all the other candidates. And this one, he was really forceful, went after some people that he needed to go after, did go after Ted Cruz a little bit, did go after Chris Christie as well. So I was pretty impressed with Marco Rubio. What maybe impressed me the most was the way that he handled the Gang of Eight landmine. If there's a huge weakness of Marco Rubio, it's the Gang of Eight bill. Let's be honest, it's immigration for Marco Rubio. He handled it well by attacking Ted Cruz and bringing up some accusations of flip-flopping from Ted Cruz. I don't think Cruz really handled that well. I don't think he was prepared for that attack from Marco Rubio. And I think Rubio was able to successfully, at least in this debate, he was able to sidestep the criticism of the Gang of Eight bill. Trust me, it'll be back probably in the next debate. Ted Cruz and his camp will refine some of their talking points. But I thought Marco Rubio did well. I put him in first place in this debate just because I think he walks away from it unscathed by anything that happened. Ted Cruz was right there. Ted Cruz had a great night up until the whole New York values debate started. I understand where Ted Cruz was going. A New York Republican, a Manhattan Republican, not the same thing in most cases compared to a West Texas Republican or a Texas Republican. There are different values in New York than there are in Texas. There's different cultural values, and maybe that's a better way of saying it, in New York and especially in Manhattan than there are in Texas. There are more conservatives in Texas, in Dallas, in Lubbock than there are probably in Lubbock than there are in Manhattan. Remember, Manhattan elected Bill de Blasio. New York City elected Bill de Blasio as the mayor, a socialist, as the mayor. Sorry, they're not very conservative. So I understand where Ted Cruz was going. I thought Donald Trump was effective. Yeah, he used the 9/11 argument about New York values. It was, and in my mind, come on, give me a break. I think we all know that Ted Cruz supports the values of everyone coming together, and he knows that New Yorkers are proud people. But Donald Trump used it, and it was effective. A lot of people out there, a lot of the media, and this is key. Remember, folks, the media, who absolutely will defend New York all the time and think it's the greatest city ever, that in L.A., they will rush to defend Donald Trump on this one, and I think that's why you have to give the edge on that argument to Donald Trump a little bit. That hurt Ted Cruz. I thought also the fact that Marco Rubio was able to sidestep the Cruz attack, that hurt Cruz just slightly. But again, Rubio won, Ted Cruz too, but I mean, there's not a lot of distance between Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. It's a very, very close race, I think, between those two. Third place, Chris Christie. I thought he had a decent debate out there. When he talked about kicking President Obama out of the office, kicking him in the rear end, will throw his rear end out of the White House. If he would have said throw his ass out of the White House, now that would have scored some points right there. But Chris Christie, look, he's effective during the debates. This is the Chris Christie that we see in the debates that I tell you, he would have won the nomination in 2012. I still think it's way past time for Chris Christie. He's got no shot. Maybe he surprises some people in New Hampshire. But as far as the establishment candidate goes, he's probably the Jeb Bush. He's better than Jeb Bush, in my opinion, as far as the campaign. As far as Jeb goes, yeah, he was on stage. Nothing memorable from Jeb Bush. He's awkward. He's very awkward. And whenever he goes into a debate with Donald Trump, he's like the guy who doesn't want to get punched. He'll punch, and then he'll, whenever Donald Trump turns and looks like he's going to hit him, you have Jeb just kind of like, he's flinching, trying to get away from him. So he just wasn't it's very awkward. It's time for Jeb Bush just to realize that it's not going to happen for him. Sorry, not going to happen for you. We'll discuss all this much more on the show. Tune in weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 on KFYO. Listen online, KFYO.com. Be sure to subscribe right down below to KFYO so that way you can be updated whenever we have videos out. Follow me on Twitter, Chad HD Radio. By the way, a lot of the tweets that I got last night about the race agreed with me for the most part of Marco Rubio number 1, Ted Cruz number 2. Some of them have them tied for number 1, and then Chris Christie number 3. There was some love for Donald Trump. I think Trump did okay in some of the business discussion out there. That's where Donald Trump pretty much shines when it comes to business. But other than that, I don't think he had a wonderful evening at all. Follow me on Twitter, Chad HD Radio, other social media platforms as well. Tune in to the show Friday morning, 8:30 to 11. We've got a lot of folks coming up, including Texas Senator John Cornyn will join me at right around 9:15, 9:35. And then we will also visit with Jim Landtroop, who is running for House District 84 in Texas. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Chad HD Radio on Twitter. We'll see you later.